Logistics Division was created after World War II to protect the world from threats beyond the reach of conventional forces. Inspired by the Howling Commandos in the fight against Hydra, it became the backbone of global superhuman intelligence. On the surface, S.H.I.E.L.D. looked like a heroic organization. They monitored alien activity, tracked enhanced individuals, and quietly prepared for disasters the public never knew were coming. Nick Fury turned it into a global network that connected governments, superheroes, and secret research projects under one roof. But S.H.I.E.L.D's greatest strength was also its greatest weakness: information, surveillance, control. Projects like Insight showed that the line between protection and domination was thinner than anyone wanted to admit, and when Hydra was revealed to be deeply embedded within S.H.I.E.L.D. itself, the entire organization collapsed overnight. What was meant to be Earth's S.H.I.E.L.D. became its greatest liability. 2. Hydra. Hydra began as a Nazi science division led by Johann Schmidt, the Red Skull, but it quickly evolved into something far more dangerous than a wartime experiment. Hydra wasn't interested in winning wars. It wanted to control the future. Its famous motto, "Cut off one head, two more shall take its place," wasn't symbolic, it was a strategy. Hydra survived by spreading, infiltrating, and embedding itself into existing power structures rather than standing alone. Long after World War II ended, Hydra quietly grew inside governments, corporations, and even S.H.I.E.L.D. itself. Senators, generals, scientists, and agents were compromised without realizing it. By the time the truth was exposed, Hydra had already come close to executing Project Insight, a plan designed to eliminate anyone who might threaten their vision of order. Hydra represents one of Marvel's darkest ideas. The enemy doesn't always attack from outside. Sometimes it smiles, salutes, and sits beside you. 3. The Red Room. The Red Room was not an army. It was a factory. Hidden deep within Soviet intelligence, the Red Room existed to create assassins through the Black Widow program. Young girls were taken, stripped of identity, and rebuilt into weapons through brutal physical training and psychological conditioning. Natasha Romanoff is the most famous survivor, but she was never the only one. Countless widows were trained to lie, manipulate, and kill without hesitation. Empathy was removed. Loyalty was manufactured. Some versions of the program even forced sterilization, ensuring no personal attachments could interfere with obedience. The Red Room proved that power doesn't need super soldiers or alien weapons. Sometimes the most dangerous force is a human being taught not to feel anything at all. A.I.M. Advanced Idea Mechanics, better known as A.I.M, is what happens when intelligence loses its conscience. Founded by brilliant scientists who valued innovation above morality, A.I.M pushed technology forward without caring who got hurt along the way. They developed weapons, viruses, armor, and experimental enhancements that rivaled Tony Stark's greatest inventions. The Extremis Project alone turned humans into unstable living weapons capable of mass destruction. What makes A.I.M terrifying is its neutrality. They aren't driven by ideology like Hydra or justice like S.H.I.E.L.D. They are driven by curiosity, profit, and ego. And in Marvel, unchecked intelligence is often more dangerous than brute force. 5. Department of Damage Control, DODC. The Department of Damage Control was created to clean up the mess left behind by superheroes. Alien invasions, destroyed cities, advanced technology scattered across urban environments. At first they seemed harmless, necessary even. But over time, their role changed. By the events of Ms. Marvel, the DODC had become an aggressive enforcement agency, surveilling communities, raiding homes, and intimidating powered individuals under the excuse of public safety. They don't wear masks, they don't announce themselves as villains, and that's what makes them unsettling. The DODC represents how easily protection turns into control when oversight disappears. 6. The Ten Rings. The Ten Rings are one of the oldest organizations in the Marvel Universe. Long before Iron Man existed, Wenwu was shaping history from the shadows using the power of the rings themselves. Unlike Hydra, the Ten Rings didn't infiltrate governments. They bent them. Dynasties fell, nations shifted, all without anyone knowing who was responsible. When they appeared in Iron Man, they looked like a simple terrorist cell. In reality, that was only a fragment of their influence. Their symbol appeared across the MCU long before their true nature was revealed. Even after Wenwu's fall, the organization didn't disappear. His daughter Xialing took control, proving that the Ten Rings don't end. They adapt. 7. Thunderbolts Network. Valentina Allegra de Fontaine operates quietly, but her influence is growing fast. She recruits broken heroes, disgraced soldiers, and morally flexible operatives to form a team that works in the shadows. Unlike the Avengers, Val's network operates without transparency. These missions exist where governments don't want accountability. Black ops, political manipulation, disposable assets. Val doesn't need armies, she needs leverage. And in Marvel, that kind of power is often the most dangerous. 8. The Illuminati. On Earth 838, the Illuminati believed they were the smartest people in the room. And because of that, they believed they had the right to decide who lived and who died. Made up of the most powerful minds and leaders of their universe, they judged even their own Doctor Strange and executed him for threatening reality. Their confidence became arrogance. When Scarlet Witch destroyed them, it wasn't just shock value, it was a lesson. Absolute power, even in the hands of heroes, collapses quickly when challenged. 9. Time Variance Authority TVA. The TVA exists outside time itself, tasked with maintaining what it calls the sacred timeline. Variants are pruned, entire realities erased, all in the name of order. Behind the bureaucracy and retro offices lies an authoritarian system designed to protect one thing: the rule of he who remains, a Kang variant controlling time itself. The TVA forces one uncomfortable question: if someone decides what's allowed to exist, is free will real at all? These organizations don't fight in the open. They don't need to. They influence history quietly, shape outcomes invisibly, and prove that in Marvel, the most dangerous villains often don't throw punches, they pull strings.